Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, if you're holding a Galaxy S24 Ultra right now, you're probably facing a really tough question. The brand new, shiny S26 Ultra is here, but is it really worth that upgrade? Well, let's break it all down.
Let's just dive right into the heart of it, shall we? You've got a fantastic phone. I mean, the S24 Ultra is still an absolute beast, but this new one comes with a pretty hefty price tag. So we're going to figure out if that $1,300 leap actually gets you a $1,300 improvement.
So the way we're going to frame this is like a classic matchup. In one corner, you've got the S24 Ultra. That's your trusty veteran. You know it, you love it, it gets the job done, no questions asked. And in the other corner, you have the S26 Ultra, the exciting new contender promising all the latest and greatest tech. Now, 2 years can feel like an absolute eternity in the world of smartphones. But here's the thing we gotta remember. The S24 Ultra wasn't some mid-range phone. It was, and honestly still is, a top-of-the-line flagship device. So with that in mind, let's get into the hard data and see exactly what those 2 years have delivered. All right, just take a look at the numbers here on the spec sheet. At first glance, some things might kind of surprise you. The battery capacity? Identical. 5,000 milliamp hours on both. The main camera? Still 200 megapixels. See, this is the perfect example of why a spec sheet never, ever tells the whole story. The real changes are hiding in the details. So let's build the strongest possible case for upgrading. Let's look at all the reasons why you might just open your wallet for the shiny new S26 Ultra. What exactly makes it so irresistible? Okay, the single biggest upgrade here is the new brain of the whole operation, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chip. And this isn't just about being a little faster. It's built from the ground up for what Samsung is calling agentic AI. Basically, think of an assistant that doesn't just react to what you say, but starts to anticipate what you need before you even ask. And for you gamers out there, this means it can maintain peak performance for way longer without getting hot and slowing down. But it's not all about raw power. It's about how the phone feels and works day to day. The S26 Ultra is noticeably lighter and slimmer, and you're going to feel that difference every single time you pick it up. Plus, that jump from 45 to 60-watt charging, that is huge. Getting to 75% battery in just half an hour can be an absolute lifesaver. And this is one of the coolest new hardware features. It's called the privacy display, and it's basically a built-in, super high-tech privacy screen. So when you're on a bus or in a coffee shop, now you can be sure the person peeking next to you sees nothing but a black screen, while your view stays perfectly crystal clear. For security and peace of mind, that's a huge deal. Okay, that was a really compelling case for upgrading. But hold on, it's definitely not an open and shut case. Let's flip the script and make the argument for patience, for saving your money, and for sticking with the still very capable S24 Ultra. The biggest, loudest, and honestly, the most convincing argument against upgrading is summed up right here. That is a significant amount of money, especially when you already have a top-tier phone sitting in your pocket. And here's a big one, especially for the longtime Note and Ultra fans. Samsung has continued this trend of stripping the Bluetooth features from the S Pen. So if you're like the author here and you loved using it as a little remote control to take group photos or cool selfies while traveling, that feature is gone. For a specific but very loyal group of users, that's a real downgrade. And here's a crucial point to remember. Your S24 Ultra is not about to become a paperweight. Not even close. Samsung has an excellent software support policy, which means it has years of major Android updates and security patches still coming. It is definitely not obsolete. Now let's get to the main event for so many people, the cameras. We already saw on the spec sheet that the megapixel counts are identical. So no upgrade, right? Well, not so fast. The story here isn't about the numbers. It's about the hardware behind them. So, the key difference is the aperture size on two of the most important lenses. Now, a bigger aperture, think of it like having a wider pupil in your eye. It just lets in more light. And in photography, more light is almost always better. And here's what that hardware change actually means for the photos and videos you take. That picture you snap in a dimly lit restaurant, it's going to be sharper. Your night videos will have way less of that ugly, grainy digital noise. It even handles tricky stuff like bright neon signs much better. Plus, there's a new horizon lock feature that keeps your action shots perfectly level, kind of like a GoPro. Okay, we've laid out all the arguments, the better performance, the quality of life upgrades, and that smarter camera, versus the high price, the S Pen downgrade, and the simple fact that your current phone is still excellent. Now it's time to decide.
So, for what it's worth, after weighing all of this, the author of the original article concluded that they would make the upgrade. For them, that combination of the lighter design, the security of the privacy display, and the first AI features they felt they'd actually use, well, that was enough to justify the cost.
But hey, that's their decision. Your choice really comes down to how you answer these three key questions. First, are those new AI and privacy features a game changer for you? Second, can your budget comfortably handle that price tag? And third, how much are you really going to miss the S Pen's remote control features? You know, ultimately, this might be the trade-off it all boils down to. Are you willing to give up a beloved classic S Pen feature and a lot of cash for a phone that's lighter, faster, and smarter, and really pushing the boundaries of what on-device AI can do? The choice is all yours.